Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and today I want to talk to you about the edited list of books that made me. I don't know how familiar you are with Miranda Lambert, but she has a song that's called The House That Built Me, and I was listening to it the other day and I was thinking about the wealth of books that I've read over the years that have so matched my personality, and they've so resonated with me. They've actually helped me to become the person that I am today. And so I thought I would start out with the books that I read when I was a little girl and the ones that I read in my 20s and kind of meander up into the books that I've read recently that have really made a lasting impact on me. The first books that I want to talk about are the books that I read when I was little. Who did not read who did not read Dr. Seuss when they were little? And then Amelia Bedelia. Now Amelia Bedelia I think started first maybe, but Amelia Bedelia, for those of you who don't know, she's always mixing up the English language. So in this book, for example, she's called to substitute teach, and she's supposed to call roll, but she doesn't know what roll is, so she takes a dinner roll from one of her students and she calls to it. In one book, she's supposed to stake the tomato plants, and so she puts a piece of meat onto the plants themselves. She just doesn't understand English. So it's a really fun and kooky way for kids to learn words. And I love to laugh, and the ludicrous nature of these adventures really helped me to laugh and discover my personality. And the same with Dr. Seuss. Who did not absolutely love to laugh at Dr. Seuss? My very favorite book was Wacky Wednesday. It started one day with a shoe on the wall. A shoe on the wall shouldn't be there at all. And you get to pick out all of the things that are wacky on Wednesday. And then I got into high school, no, middle school, and I started reading Sweet Valley High. This is obviously a really old one because I'm not really young. But this one in particular I chose because this book actually talks about a girl who has trouble making friends. She doesn't feel like she fits in with anyone in particular. And throughout the course of the book, she learns to put herself out there a little bit and to be brave and to be a little bit vulnerable. And this was a lesson that I needed to learn, and I thought, like, even though I'm in my 40s, when I was thinking about Sweet Valley High, I remembered this book and I remembered the power of the vulnerability of this character. And then that gets me, I kind of skip over my high school years because you have to do the required reading, and I was reading a lot of mysteries, but nothing really helped to sort of mold me. And then I got into my 20s and I read a couple of books with funny heroines that I thought were great, one of which is Bridget Jones' Diary, and I can't find the book. I know I have a copy, but I can't find it. She is hilarious, and her adventures in discovering who she is and learning to become the person that she wants to be is so relatable, but in such a ludicrous and lovable and fun and funny way. But it's the same with Canny Shapiro. Good in Bed is not a self-help manual, which I say every time I introduce this book, but Jennifer Weiner's dialogue, Canny Shapiro, is witty and smart and successful, but she's really struggling after a breakup to learn who she is and what she truly wants out of life. And these two books, these adventures of these beautiful, bright, not traditionally successful in that sort of Hollywood traditional way, their stories really resonated with me, and it helped me to embrace myself and my flaws and just find humor in my everyday personality. And then I got a divorce. And when I was going through my divorce, I was at Half Price Books and I discovered this book. It's Post Secrets. And this was not actually written by Frank Warren. This is compiled by Frank Warren. And what he did was he set out postcards to just have random people write in and give their secrets. And it's absolutely amazing how it resonated with everyone. So this book is a compilation of those postcards and the illustrations that are on those postcards. Some of them are quite humorous. I think one post secret that he received was a woman who said that she secretly served her vegetarian sister beef. Another one will absolutely break your heart. And so the raw emotions and the power in this book, and he's since compiled I've got a couple of other volumes as well, but the raw emotion and the power and the vulnerability of the secrets that these people share. And then of course the weight that it releases from their shoulders when they do share them is phenomenal, and it's really emotional in a good way, but a little bit of a melancholy way too. And then I got back and I rediscovered my humor. This came out in 2013, and for those of you who don't know, Jenny Lawson is the Bloggess. She's literally theblogess.com. She is so witty and so funny. There's a chapter in here called, gosh, I think it's called Why Neil Patrick Harris Would Be a Successful Serial Killer, and it's the story of how she and her husband met and started dating. Do I have to say any more? It is so witty and so funny, and warning, don't read this in public because you will laugh out loud and people will think you are absolutely crazy. Trust me. But just helping me rediscover my humor was so valuable after that. And then getting on to the complications that come with living the single life and all of the pressures that deal with it, and keeping your positivity and keeping your focus on what really matters and what helps you feel whole when sometimes you don't have that sounding board, or I didn't have that sounding board of a husband to kind of talk to at night and really work things out. So The Path Made Clear and Words That Matter really helped to help me get that introspection and keep that motivation and that positivity. Words That Matter are good little, I call them bits of chocolate nuggets for everyday living that are just phenomenal. And then The Path Made Clear really helps keep you focused on, I had gum and I swallowed air and now I'm burping. Really helps keep you focused on what matters. It is so easy to get lost in your everyday, and days just turn into weeks and weeks turn into months, and before you know it, you've kind of lost a bit of yourself. And sometimes when you're not happy with the direction of your life, you meander and you wait too long to really do anything about it. So this book helps remind us that there are things that matter, and let's focus on them and let's be grateful for them. And every day, let's just show gratitude and be present in everyday moments and use our gifts to their best. And then the last thing the last book that I read that has helped so far to shape me is actually the Harry Potter series. I picked this one because Prisoner of Azkaban is actually my favorite of all 7 books, but I reread this recently and it helped to remind me why I liked reading. I think when I started reading Oprah Winfrey and I started reading Brené Brown and Whitley Phipps and all of these other amazing self-help books, I started thinking that reading was, at least at my age, supposed to be simply an intellectual exercise. And yes, to a certain extent, I think reading is supposed to help challenge us and our perceptions and help us learn and become better. But it's also supposed to be fun, and I had forgotten that. And so I reread this, and it was fun, and I loved it. And I went out and I bought some fiction books just to buy books instead of to buy books to learn and grow. And it reminded me of why I loved to read. So the last book that shaped me was Harry Potter, and I'm sure this won't be the last time I reread this series. And I hope that every time I do, I will be reminded of the joy and the humor and the adventure and the excitement of reading. So thanks so much for joining me today. If you yourself have some favorites, please let me know in the comments below. What books helped shape you? Did you read Amelia Bedelia when you were little? Do you love to laugh when you're reading books as much as I do? What are your favorites? What resonates with you? Thanks so much, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!